Aileen Ibardaloza is the author of a book of poetry titled Traje de Boda, published by Meritage Press 2010, and it's a wonderful collection of poetry. She's associate editor of Our Own Voice Literary Easing. If you don't know Our Own Voice, I encourage you to check it out. It's been an easing that's been featuring Filipinos and Filipinos in the diaspora for many years. And you'll see samples of poetry, short stories, photography, art, everything. So I really encourage you to check it out. Our Own Voice. Online. If you're not sure, Google it. Our Own Voice. And her works have appeared in numerous online and print media as well as book anthologies. Her short memoir, Traveling with Tsinelas, served as the inspiration for the book cover we are launching tonight. She lives in Northern California with her husband and family. Husband happens to be here. Please welcome Aileen.
Good evening. Thank you for being here tonight. And hats off to our hardworking editor, Reni, Roxas, and our sponsors for putting together this book launch. My deepest gratitude to Filipinos in the diaspora who opened up and continue to open up their hearts and their homes to their fellow wandering Pinoys like me. I'll be reading my essay, Traveling with Tsinelas. Some days, if I squint my eyes just so, there she will be, my Manila, sailing past San Francisco, in the middle of New York City, or on a corner of London town. Then all too briefly she is gone, lineaments concealed, edges tucked away. An expatriate friend of mine once said that we carry our home in our hearts wherever we go. And so, I carry with me wherever I go a pair of slippers. The easier to slip into, the more I like it. This tradition started almost 20 years ago when, traveling alone in Europe, I was invited to a Filipino family's home for dinner. At the time, it had been more than 3 months since I saw a fellow Pinoy or tasted Filipino food. Imagine my excitement when, through the glass front door, I glimpsed a row of pairs of tsinelas lining the entryway. It was the most beautiful sight. They stood for everything I was so sorely and terribly missing. My home, my family, fragments of my culture. Philippine slippers, traditionally in the form of wooden clogs or bakya, are said to date as far back as pre-colonial times. I prefer to think of them as humble bearers of the rough maps of our people's noblest quests. And so for the last 20 years, I've been traveling with a pair of tsinelas. For what other token of my being Pinay is more practical and tangible? Tokens aside, nothing of course beats the real thing. My homeland, in all her sultry, jangling, ragged, luscious, cerulean, burnt amber, ironic, contradictory, heartbreakingly proud, and heartbreakingly lovely glory. In the most hushed hours of my day, I think of her, and I am home more often than she knows. Maraming salamat.